Being a multi-billion family, nilikuwa nimejipanga in my head that in future, unajua kuna ile ukichukua pesa token from someone because their mother or father has died, if you take that token, to be honest, your relationship yenu ina decrease.
How much money are we talking about?
50 million. 50 million.
Kenya shillings? Or me convert?
Our guest for this episode, Colleen Cheptoo, has seen it and technically tried it all as far as the world of business is concerned.
Sita kudanganya ati kuanza biashara lazima ukuwe na capital yote. Nikikwambia kuanza biashara ya computer ndio uhit lazima ukuwe na 10 million na uko na 500,000 nitakuwa nina.
Alafu hii sasa ni special dedication kwa watu wote wanatakanga kwenda majuu kutafuta opportunities outside the country #greener pastures.
You don't even need an agent or a host.
Ni connection? Ulipona na connection?
Si connection.
Na ule mtu anajiambia by the way nikienda huko nijifungie 2 years. Do yangu yote iko inakuja Kenya. Kwanza 600,000 per month. Hiyo ni 7.2 million. Nikaweza tu kupata place ya nini nikipiga 2 years that's 14 million nikiishi kama monk.
The moment they realize your account has started making money, they come up with offers, mortgage. So you end
ukiwa huko tu.
Ukiwa huko. Huko hakuna ati deposit atilipa 10% ati ndio tukupatie mortgage.
Yes, unaweza enda upige caregiving 1 year utoke na kamzungu kako usettle Canada. Hakuna.
One of my highlights for this conversation has to be knowing when to stop.
Ukifungua biashara, that business for 6 months does not give you any returns. Funga hiyo biashara.
But we have people wanasema like break even point for a business inaweza take hata 3 years na wewe sasa ndio utavuna proper.
And most importantly, how to identify the next big thing as far as business is concerned.
Mkisikia pesa iko mahali fulani, you don't want to care. Msafara ndio hiyo, kila mtu.
Hii ya kusema angalia what will be marketable in the next 4 years. Sio ni kuangalia msafara itakuwa inaenda wapi 4 years.
Hapana.
What is the grace period ya a graduate kujua umechoma miaka 6?
You are done.
Usitafute tena.
Fanya kitu kingine.
I'm Dr. Kingori and here's another reason to stay subscribed to our channel. Kama how you just subscribe, now is a good reason to hit subscribe and turn on the notifications bell. Our episode today has been recorded at Wojo, a premium co-working space in Nairobi. I'll tell you more about them by the end of this video.
Unajua, from my first meeting na wewe, I classified you as a prophetess of business. Like, wewe ni mtu wa kuexit ikienda kuanguka na upatikani. I believe that's accurate. Kwa nini? Kwa time ya COVID, did you ever jump on a bandwagon na ukachomoka safely? Kama wakati the president announced that COVID imeisha, kuna watu walikuwa wamekwama na stock ya mask tao, like fresh stock. Unakumbuka mask zikikam zilikuwa high price, ndio?
Kabisa.
But sasa wewe ni ule unaweza ingia kwa busy ya face mask, my assessment. Busy kama ya face mask na utatoka before president afunge. What's the secret? Insider information? Ama mtu anajuangaje?
Hizo max niliziuza.
Uliuza mask?
Yeah.
No, by the way I was just guessing.
Niliuza.
Ulirukia bandwagon ya mask?
Kabisa.
Aha.
Yeah.
Ulipatikana?
Asikupatikana.
How do you know when to exit before you burn?
Unaangalianga tu trend ya vitu zikianza kushuka bei ama customer waanze ama market ianze kuflock. That's the time you need to know. That's the time unajua ni exit time. Kwa sababu unapatanga kwa kila biashara inakuanga na trend yake.
Okay.
Hiyo market ikiflock, that's it. Unaanza kufikiria next ama plan B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hakuna cha loyalty ya mazee acha nifungue hii biashara ya face mask, watu wengine wakianguka nitatafuta different strategy.
Unafaa anytime unafungua biashara, lazima ukuwe na plan B. Kwa sababu biashara yote ni risk. Hakuna biashara uko 100% ati client atabai. Biashara yote unaanzisha, everything ni risk. So lazima ukuwe na plan B ya biashara yote unaanzisha.
Okay. So wewe ukianza biz unajuanga
na kuanga na plan B.
was the grace period ya kusurvive in a business environment before we get into the businesses zenye umefanya?
Ukiangalia biashara for example kama hiyo ya mask ulisema, kama ni COVID, unajua hii kitu hii ni pandemic, haitakaa forever, lazima itaisha. So pia wewe ukianzisha hiyo biashara lazima ujue at some point lazima uta exit. So unaanza hiyo biashara ukijua target market yako ni gani, kama ni supplies ama ni nini, ukijuanga wakati watu wameingia wengi kwa market, time to exit.
Wakati watu wameingia wengi kwa
watu wengi wakiingia kwa market, watu wakiflock, everyone was selling. Hakuna mtu wako anauza mask. Ukienda mask, everywhere was mask. Prices ilikuwa chini.
Okay.
So wakati prices ilikuwa, when not everyone was selling the mask, prices ilikuwa juu sana.
Okay.
But ukitaka kujua biashara inaenda kuisha, price ikianza kushuka ya vitu, jua hiyo market imeflock.
Okay, but take us through the idea of how to identify an opportunity. In this sense, before watu wengine wakuja wagundue mask iko na biz, na wale watu wa first mover advantage, wale walijua hapa kuna kitu. How do you identify mahali kuna kitu ndio exit in good time?
Una identify ukiangalia, for example sasa, ni nini, what is it that is coming next? Because kila biashara inakuangana na kila biashara inakuangana nini na trends yake, ama shift. Unaona? So ukisema for example ukiingia kama biashara ya mask ni juu ya COVID, si juu ya kitu ingine. There's a pandemic, ama there's something that is happening, ama there's something that is coming up for you to start a business. For example, computer business, when we were starting computer business, sisi wenye tulianza computer business, that is when the government ilikuwa imeanza kusema mambo ya digital awareness, ICT, unaona? So shule mingi zilikuwa zinataka computers.
Shule?
Yeah, mashule zilikuwa zinataka computer, watu walikuwa wanataka computers. Sasa hii computers are all over. Unaona?
Okay.
Yeah. Sasa ukifungua biashara ya computer, you can't do that good.
Take us through your experience na computers.
Computers.
Yes. Ndio to get kwa hiyo mindset, like the frame of mind, how capital ready unafaa ukue, how you entered na how you exited. Sasa ndio tuelewe hiyo kitu ya when to enter, identifying an opportunity. Ushatuambia you had the government, so technically you invested in rumors na ukaponea. So take us through the whole process ya nini.
Wakati government ilikuwa ina insist on ICT, that is when the idea of computer came. Because in my mind, nikifanya research, nilikuwa naona many schools, many churches, they are shifting into now technology and computer.
Yes.
So that is where the market was at them. So ilikuwa hata ukienda place, though nilizunguka si ati siku hustle, hata mimi hiyo time nikianza. I really went to many offices around Upper Hill, about 150 offices.
150 offices.
Nikijaribu, ndio watu wanipatie order ya kuuza machine.
Yes.
And I was walking.
Na ulikuwa unajua mahali unaenda kutoa machine?
Yeah, machine
ama ulishajua uko nazo?
Nilikuwa najua mahali ya kutoa machine. Nilikuwa nimejua.
Haujabai bado?
Sijabai. Najua shimo.
Sawa, unajua shimo.
Yeah, place ya get supply ya.
Ushasikia rumor ya government policy inaenda kuchange.
Nishaingia market.
Kuna opportunity wakati government inasema tutatenda. Right?
Yeah.
Wewe pia unajitayarisha kutenda.
Yes.
Alafu bado how invest bado. You're looking for the orders first.
Yes. You look for the order first. Umeregister company lakini hujafungua duka.
Na do ikikuja na order ikikuja, do inatoka wapi at this point?
Do inatoka. Ukipata order hata kwa bank na microfinance wanakupatia pesa. Ukipata LPO wanakupatia do.
Ukipata LPO. Okay. Na hapa hakuna kujuana, ni kutembea ofisi tu ofisi ukijua. Haya, sawa.
Unaenda una create rapport na watu. So you move from one office to another paka upate orders. And the moment you're moving from one office to another, hiyo ni marketing already. Ushaji market. So ukiacha kadi yako hapo, mwingine huyo mwenye umeachia atakuwa na mtu mwingine anataka. So inaenda hivyo.
Okay.
So ukikaa kama 3 months, because for me najipatianga kitu inaitwa 90-day rule. Before you open a shop, or before unafanya testing. Any biashara yote yenye mimi nimefanya 90-day rule, unafanya test before you put your money into that business.
Oh, si tunajua 90-day rule ingine, but carry on. So
yeah,
to
so
explain hiyo 90-day rule
90-day rule yangu ni, for example, you want to start a business.
Okay.
And you have a little bit of capital.
A little bit.
Hauna yote. Because sita kudanganya ati kuanza biashara lazima ukuwe na capital yote. Nikikwambia kuanza biashara ya computer ndio uhit lazima ukuwe na 10 million na uko na 500,000 nitakuwa nina
yeah. Hata 500,000 umeanzia huko, but carry on.
Hata 100,000 can start a computer business. So you do a 90-day rule.
Yes.
You see the market and study the market. Move, unaenda kwa shop hizo zote za computer so that you know their weaknesses and how ukifungua yako where the strength, utaweka strength yako wapi ndio upate clientele.
Oh, si ati unaogopa kuna duka za computer?
Kuna kuogopa.
Unakuja kuharibu na style
na style yangu.
Okay. So your experience walking up a hill, tafuta hapa, tafuta pale, what was your first closing and what do you learn from that experience?
My first closing because nilienda 151 offices.
Ulikuwa unahesabu?
Yes, I even have my record.
Okay.
Lazima uhesabu, ujue target yako, leo unaenda ofisi ngapi hivyo. Ni ngapi umefail, ni ngapi umeclose.
Now, how do you know? Kenyans are not straightforward people. First of all, two things. Is Kenya a fair market? Yeah. Kuna mtu ukienda umpresentie kesi yako, they will give you an order legit, like I'll buy from you. Na Kenyans tuko na struggle ya straightforward. Mtu anakuambia wacha tuone, but unajua tu yo, that's a no, ama anakuzungusha, ama they want something else. How did you manage this kwa 150 places?
For you to be in business, you must be a salesperson. And if you are a salesperson, hata ukiongea na mtu, you will know if this person will buy or not buy. Wengi watakuambia we will get back. Lakini kwa hiyo 150, watu wawili tu that got back. One gave me a computer, one supply, and another one 2. Supply.
Ulete computer moja, mwingine ulete 2.
Lete 2. So hiyo umezunguka 150 offices. Nikarudi back to drawing board. Hapana, so what is my next shule? Mashule, nikatafuta database ya shule. Nikatafuta database ya shule. Luckily enough, because I've traveled a lot, I have apps that can give me a database. So app, unaenda kwa app yangu, naangalia database, inanipatia shule zote. Kama ni Nairobi, inanipatia zote. Najua naenda nikiangalia shule gani inaweza nisikiza. Hivyo. Then I go to schools.
Si ati una assume shule itakusikiza, unaangalia shule inakaa kukusikiza.
Shule inakaa kunisikiza.
What does that mean?
There are schools that you will go to. Hata kuanzia kwa gate, utapata huyo soja amekaa huko 25 years, atakwambia huku tuko na computers ama tunanunuanga kwa mtu fulani. So lazima ufanye pia research ndio ujue ni shule gani utaenda, which school are you going to approach.
Haya. Sawa. Umeingia kwa marketing because my vibe kupiga nayo story ilikuwa inapeana a marketing expert. But then when you go back to before you talk selling, right? So history ya shule ndio it worked for you. You got your first order from a school.
Yeah, I got my first order from Chuka Primary School. That was my first order, 30 computers. Hao ndio walinipa first order.
Ukaenda kwa shimo.
Kwenda kwa shimo.
Okay.
Kwenda kwa shimo nikajua hii kitu inaweza work. So haraka upesi nikachukua kaduka pale Ludhuli. Simple shop. Why? Because I wanted money now from the bank. Na nilikuwa ninataka lazima wangekuja kwa shop.
Oh, banks do that?
Yeah.
Wanakuja waone duka?
Before they give you business loan, they have to come to the shop.
Okay.
So Speedy ndio huyo mimi I took a shop and they came to the shop.
Okay.
Lakini sasa good luck or bad luck, hawakunipea hiyo loan. Na nilikuwa nachukua hiyo shop because of them.
Oh, ulikuwa unachukua shop ndio upate loan. So how do you come out of this?
Sasa coming out of this ni working again, going back to drawing board.
Na hii ni within the 90 days. You have to execute.
Yes.
So unatolea wapi watu wachuka computer na story ya do ime backfire na ulikuwa unasema bank ni sure bet kama uko na order.
That is when I went to one supplier, a Muslim supplier anaitwa Mr. Khan. He is the one who supplies a lot of computers. Nikaenda nimemtengenezea proposal yangu. Nataka kufanya hii kazi hivi. He gave me computers on loan.
He gave you computers on loan. He just trusted you.
Yeah, alinimwagia computer half container.
Upeleke
nijaze hiyo shop.
Ujaze shop ama upeleke Chuka Primary?
Nipeleke na niweke kwa duka.
Okay. Okay. So shimo ilikuwa Mr. Khan in advance?
Yes.
Okay. Haya. So from this unakuja tena unashikana na network ya ex-UK Computers.
Yes.
How do you transition from supply ya Mr. Khan kukuja kumfuta biashara?
Sasa nilifuta kwa sababu nilijua market mahali iko.
Ulijua mahali Mr. Khan anatoa? Ulijua the shimo of shimos.
Yeah, so nilijua the market, nikaanza kuorder myself. Okay. First I started ordering from Dubai, 10 laptops, pole tu hivyo. And my company really grew, ili grow sana hiyo time.
Yes.
Before sasa the masters came in.
What do you mean the masters?
Sasa
okay.
Now people are opening computer shops because the gava imesema ICT, it's digital, let's move to digital. Yes. So kila mtu amejua biashara iko kwa computer.
Na watu wengine wanafikiria kama wewe.
I had a small shop and I used to be suppliers of other small shops.
Okay.
So you can imagine how the market was flocked. Even my employees, wale nilikuwa na employee, mtu anatoka anaenda anafungua computer shop yake.
Wanakufanyia ile kitu ulifanyia Mr. Khan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you did computers for some time. So after hiyo ya kusema watu wengine your employees wamegrow nini sasa it's time to exit. Time
to exit when there is a lot of shop. Kipita Moi Avenue shop ni za computer paka koja mwisho.
Yes.
The other side Ludhuli, yani there were so many shops. Alafu sasa wacha the big fish wakuje sasa kwa market.
The big fish ni mtu ako na capital?
Mtu ako na capital. Anakumwagia containers kama 10. Unajua container kama 10, alafu yeye mashini moja, sasa kama sisi tunaoda mashini 20, 30 from Dubai or from UK. Zinakuja by air. Na mtu anakuangushia container 10.
Yes.
Na bei ya hiyo product goes down.
Okay.
So you are selling at 25. Unasikia mtu anauza at 18.
Na bado ame-make profit.
Ame-make profit hata kama ni ya 200.
Anapiga volumes.
Yeah, anapiga volumes. Okay. So you're out of business. Wewe na mashini zako 15,
yes.
You're out of business.
Okay.
So if you don't think fast, utakaa tu hapo kwa hiyo duka yako.
So thinking fast in this case, your first idea was influenced by government policy, which is a very interesting way to think, right? Like you trust the government is promising, tutafanya hii and they'll do it. So you invest in that.
Yeah.
And how do you know, like the government talked about computers, right? Sindio? This is the right time ya kuziweka. Like people are ready for them now. Has the government implemented the policy? Ama you go make a case to people on why they need computers?
When the government tells you no, we need to shift to digital,
yes,
you now go to the market and tell them you need to have a computer. You need to have a computer. You need to have a computer because we are moving into digital. Yeah.
Or you create a market for that.
You create a market for that.
Aya. Na that tena inarudi kwa my profiling from you again, I stand corrected, marketing expertise. Na utatuambia experience yako ya marketing na the other businesses you've done, but then I was very curious to know what does it mean, ama what does it take to convince someone to buy something? This is both as an individual na hiyo kitu ya kusema create a market. It means unaweza start a market from nothing.
Yeah.
Like sawa, watu wana computer but you can show them the need to buy a computer.
Yes.
But why do other people struggle to sell? What's the secret of selling?
The secret of selling is there's a willing buyer. Kuna ule buyer anakuja tu anataka kununua.
That's one type of a customer.
Yeah, there's a willing buyer.
Okay.
And there's a buyer that you need to convince why they need to buy. Kuna ule atakuja kwa duka. Yeah? And
hajui ni nini anataka.
Hajui ni nini anataka. You need to convince them why they need to buy. They need to buy a computer. Anaweza kuja anataka kununua desktop. Lakini unamuuliza hii desktop ni ya nini? Then you encourage them to buy a laptop. Because of this and this reason. Yeah. Portable, you know.
You give them options.
You give them option. So that client atafeel, hey, this huyu amenishughulikia vizuri. That client that you have convinced to buy, ndio huyo client ataenda kukuletea clients wingi. Those are the best clients. Those are your marketers in ground. Si ule willing buyer. Willing buyer hata kutumia mtu.
But then, nimekuuliza swali because I read somewhere and I hate that I can't remember for the sake of attribution that no one really actually sells something. Mtu yote ametoa pesa yake abai kitu remotely alikuwa make your decision that they want to buy, labda ni that extra push that they needed. Ati no one actually ever convinces someone to do something. Do you think there is truth in that?
There's some truth in that. Yeah, because if someone is not decided, because hata akikuja kwa duka, if someone has come to the shop and you have to convince them into buying, it means that they wanted to buy the product but they were not sure. So it takes you to convince them into buying. Yeah.
Na umefanya bizmob sana and I hope we can touch on them before tuongee one of my favorite topics which is your stint ya kwenda majuu. But then what's the lifespan ya kufanya biz, ndio najaribu kugauge nione how long can you stay in a, like would you find yourself doing one business for more than 3 years?
Basically me, the way I've put myself or the way I structure myself, a business more than 3 years only if kama ni farming.
Kama ni farming.
Kama ni farming.
Na huko ndio kuna hasara pro max.
Farming ndio the only business yenye hautakuwa disappointed. To be honest, farming ndio biashara yenye haita kuaffect na technology. Si watu wengi that can run into farming because si wengi wako na hizo shamba za kufanya farming. So it's not easy to get farming at the flock. I'm giving you an example because my father is a farmer. Okay. And he's been farming and his products move up to date. Hakuna hiyo ati watu watakuja wafungue shamba hapa, you know. Ati sasa the market is saturated.
That's the only sure bet business.
That's the only sure bet in business in Africa that hautapata itakupatia challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are computers, like hii busy computer supply, was it your very first business?
No.
Then why do you find yourself struggling for capital ya kuanzisha computer business na ulikuwa umefanya other businesses?
For you to move to another business, you're looking for other opportunity.
Yes.
You're moving forward. Now, for you to move forward, you need new opportunities. So for me, I looked for more opportunities because making money is never enough. You can do 3-4 businesses.
Making money is never enough.
Yeah, it's never enough. Huwezi sema utakuwa you're okay with this business ati if you get another opportunity you won't jump into it. No.
Sawa. Twende pole pole. You've been employed before.
Yes.
Umecheza pale kwa NGO kiasi. Na kwa NGO you said something that stuck to my mind. Ati if the money makes sense, I'll do it. Nikakuuliza, what does pesa mzuri mean? Right? Pesa mzuri inamaanisha nini? Yes, I admit, but making money may not be enough, but pesa mzuri inamaanisha nini?
Pesa mzuri inamaanisha when you're making profits more than what you've been making, that's good money. Good money is when you can be able to pay your bills without hassle, when you can be able to do things like you're debt free, hakuna hassle, that's good money. Money is never enough, to be honest. Money is never enough. Okay. But when you can be able to, you have the stability, that I would say money, that is good money.
Okay. Na tuseme kama wewe umeidentify business. Nimesema umekuita prophetess wa business. Umefanya business ya computer ukaondokea, si ndio? The market is saturated.
Yeah.
As we speak, kuna msichana wochi, kuna pesa yake ameweka kando, anataka kuingia huko kwa computer mahali mchomekea. Is there an opportunity for someone else? Like kama expiration ya business, business ya computer season yake imeisha, ni hivyo, we go to something else.
Yeah, naweza sema computer is it's a good business if someone has studied about artificial intelligence enough. Ajue computer iko na trend yake. Asiende kununua stock ya Core i3 na computer inatoa Core I's, the system changes all the time. So unaweza pata hii imewekwa Core i3, this the season they are using Core i3. Ukilala wewe umenunua stock yako ya Core i3. Ukilala kesho asubuhi uamke Core i5 ishatoka. So lazima upige hesabu ujue kama utanunua moja ama Core i5 haijatoka saa hiyo. So you have to know also the trend. You have to in every business you have to do research.
Na si unazipeleka ushago.
Ushago
unaenda sasa unafungua duka yako ya Busia sasa ya za Core i1. Sama
uwezi manage hivyo, acha nikwambie. Kwa sababu saa hizi na technology tuko nayo na vitu za digital all over na online. People are selling online. People are selling online.
It's a level playing field.
My computer shop is selling online.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah, it's still online. I'm doing on Facebook. Sikufunga, nilifunga like physically, but my clients I still have them.
So si ati hata ukihepa unaipanga kabisa. Una reducing tu cost but unauma huko kidogo.
Nauma kidogo.
Okay. Sawa. Na which one comes first? The NGO gig ama kwenda kutafuta job ya caregiving maju?
No, I started with NGO.
You started with NGO.
Yeah.
Right? Na hapo pia hakukuwa na ile nafasi ya hii job nikicheza poa siwezi piga mpaka retirement ama nipate. Of course, money is never enough, but hakuna ideas ungefanya ikue
with NGO, I have a heart of helping people a lot. So wakati nilikuwa kwa NGO, my mind, I was invested in it kabisa. Because I love helping vulnerable groups, people with disability. I love helping those kind of people. So unapata I was invested, my mind, body and soul ilikuwa kwa hiyo job kabisa. Yeah.
Okay. Sawa. Tuende majuu. Tunaenda Canada kwanza. Si ndio? How does Canada come about? Because kuna mix ya employment, business, employment. Si ndio?
Yeah.
But watu wengi wanasema once you go business you don't go back. But wewe umecheza na zote.
Mimi nimecheza na zote.
So how does Canada come about?
So Canada came about, remember I was in South Africa. I was working for a company in South Africa. And when COVID came, that is when the job ended. And that is when I was done with employment. That is on 2020. Because after computer business, that is when now I went to employment. I went back to employment. So NGO was even before computers.
Okay.
Yeah, NGO was before computers. Because after I left NGO, that's when I opened computers. Yeah.
Okay, what happened? Twende na hii map pole pole. What happened before the NGO? What was happening?
Before the NGO?
Yes.
Before the NGO, I used to work on marketing companies. Like EXP, Momentum, Group Africas. Those are the marketing companies that I used to work with. So I used to be a marketer.
Okay.
I did telecom. I did a lot of companies.
Okay.
Yeah, before I entered NGO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what inspires the move? Of course tunajua ni do, but what inspires the move? What sureties do you get before you make a move? in this sense, uko kwa marketing, you're making a certain amount of money. What determines, mbona usitafute job ingine ya marketing, let me try something else. Like why come from marketing, uende kwa NGO? Ama ni hiyo job ilikuwa available?
That job was available. Plus the NGO, they were dealing with the vulnerable groups.
Okay.
And I love doing that.
Okay.
So vulnerable groups, and we used to deal with young kids.
Yes.
Young kids in Korokocho, those who are talented, like that. So I loved that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love music a lot.
Okay.
See, yeah.
So, and the most serious boss moves zina happen between COVID na? So you are one of the COVID beneficiaries in a nice way. Ulienda Canada through agency ama wewe ulijitafutia njia?
Mimi nilijitafutia njia peke yangu. Yeah. I couldn't go to an agency because I used to do visas. I started doing visas since 2008. So I know about visas a lot.
What do you know about visas that hawa watu wanaenda kwa agency hawajui?
I've traveled to different countries. I've gone to the US. I've gone to South Korea. I've gone to Turkey. I've gone to 18 African countries. Because when I was working with the company in South Africa, I used to be their African business developer manager. So African business developer, I was in charge into opening new branches in Africa, especially in Africa. So that's when I got the opportunities to travel. So this was an American company, but it was based in South Africa for African market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so this decision to go to Canada, what research umefanya ukajua kuna market? How are you guaranteed that utaenda kumake do more buko kuliko what you already making? Because I understand kuna kitu kama money thermometer. When you start playing at a certain level, you don't wanna go below that. Why would you sacrifice your experience, your business environment, your psyche, ya kujitambua kama marketer to go? This is like starting afresh.
Yes.
What inspires this? Please, hebu tupatie hiyo environment ya wadau mimi naenda Canada. Na hujafanya harambee?
During COVID, sikufanya harambee. During COVID, there was a shortage of healthcare workers. And any embassy you do visa, hauko unanyimwa because they needed people.
This is what you mean ulikuwa unajua about visas?
Yeah. So I did my application, nikasema, this one I need to go and work for about 2 years and then come back.
2 years. Na that was mathematics yenye umepiga unasema unaenda work 2 years.
Yes.
What do you hope to achieve in these 2 years? Na ulikuwa sure, yes, demand iko utaenda kuget job?
Yes. Demand ilikuwa na job nikapata. Job ya caregiving. And they were paying amazing money.
Caregiving. What does this entail? Na hii ni do ngapi yenye ndio tujue unaacha biashara yako ya kompyuta ijipange uende useme naenda huko? And what are the qualifications technically? Because from business, you have no medical background or medical training.
No, I had to train. I trained from here. I trained from here before I left. As I was waiting for my visa, I was training. I trained as a caregiver, but when I got to Canada, I upscaled to a disability specialist. So I'm a disability and rehabilitation specialist right now.
Okay. Huku umetrain tu kama local caregiver, si ndio?
Yes.
Aya, okay. Hiyo ni preparation yako. Do you know someone there ama unaenda kwa sababu ya job peke yake?
No, I knew a few friends that I used to work with because I created a lot of network when I used to work with the South Africa. With the American company. We used to have people from different foreign nationals.
Yeah.
So I made networks with different countries, Europe, Canada. I made networks, massive networks.
Sasa unabasti ile bubble ya kuingia tu online kusema naweza enda Canada. Utafute tu fare uende uanze from scratch. Not possible.
No, it's possible. It is possible. It is possible, and it is possible because there are lawyers there who can help you. You don't even need an agent or a host. If you have enough money to host yourself for a bit before you get the job and the LMI job and work permit. You can get a good lawyer who can get you a good job and work permit. Good lawyers, they are there. Unlike this other style that people are doing, they are good lawyers that can really assist you. But right now they have become very expensive. In my time, to get a good lawyer and get you an LMI job and work permit was about $200.
$200?
Yeah.
Rate ya sahi hiyo ni kama 30 something K.
Yeah, 30 something thousand, like 40,000 or so.
Hiyo ni kutoka huku.
Yeah.
So umeget lawyer akakuprocess ya hizo stuff, alafu utafute air ticket.
Yeah.
Can you apply for the job from here alafu wakuimport?
Ngumu. To be honest.
Lazima ufike ground.
Lazima ufike ground. I will be lying when I tell you that uta apply an LMI job from here and mark you, there are so many people who are already there.
Yes.
Looking for these jobs. Why would a company pay your ticket? Because LMI job, it requires a company to show that they can afford you, they can pay your ticket, they can pay your medical and all that. So why would that company pay for you who is here and the others who are already there looking for a job?
Are you saying that now after COVID, there are people who are tamarking wakitafuta hizo job huko? So si ati wanakungangania kwa airport. Unajua sasa this nimejimislead mahali. Si ati sasa ati demand sasa iko sure bet ati. So did you know, again, you prophetess inakuja hapa, did you know in 2 years sasa COVID itakuwa imeisha uchomoke?
Yes.
For real? Na hawako kufuta job.
Sikuvuta job. The family I was working for, actually the family I was working for is a multi-billion family. A multi-billion family.
Okay.
And the lady I used to take care of when she passed on, there's a quite huge amount of money that they were offering me. Lakini sikukubali. Sikukubali because
the person you are taking care of has passed on.
Passed on, yeah.
And they were offering you more money. The person has passed on. They're offering you more money. ILM iko na afterlife, as in, I'm just curious. Kandarasi ni ya nini tena? Kandarasi ni ya nini? Okay. Hii kandarasi, how does it look like? You go get a family, wako na needs as someone to be taken care of. You negotiate. So hakuna standard industry rate.
Hapana.
Hakuna.
Though hizi jobs ziko kwa, like Canada, ziko kwa job bank ya Canada. But you have to have the qualification that they want for you to get that job.
The qualification that they want. Wewe ulikuwa marketer?
Mimi nilikuwa marketer. But to be honest, your process ni long. To be honest, your process ni long.
Ya kwenda?
So, yeah.
Na mbona you're offered money. Na umesema money is never enough. Na here's money presenting itself to you. Why are you coming back?
Compassion. The relationship I built with this lady, it would be so unfair to take this money from this family because they'd used so much money hata hivyo. Being a multi-billion family, nilikuwa nimejipanga in my head that in future, unajua kuna ile ukichukua pesa token from someone because their mother or father has died, if you take that token, to be honest, hiyo relationship yenyu ina decrease, to be honest. Sijui kama umeipata hiyo. Sijui kama experience kitu kaa hiyo. For example, upatiwe do, uambiwe this person you're taking care of is dead. Thank you very much for taking care of them until the end of life. Take this token of appreciation.
So
munamalizana hivyo.
Hii pesa ulikataa ni token of appreciation.
Yeah, token of appreciation nilikataa kwa sababu I needed these people.
Na si kazi yako imeisha, you are coming back to Kenya?
Yes.
Let me I'm going to the mind of a selfish person. This is not me. I want to test my selfishness. How much money are we talking about? As a token?
50 million. 50 million.
Kenya shillings? Or umeconvert? Ukapewa 50 million?
Nikakataa.
Because you need those people. Equate that for us in terms of value. I know we are hurting a lot of people, but let's discuss value.
Yeah.
Like, what's the decision like to reject the 50 million offer? I understand, like, you want to keep the relationship. So in terms of value, your relationship is worth more than money.
Yeah.
Right? But you're coming back to Kenya. Wamekupea roho safi.
Yeah.
You understand? What's the process like to reject this, and how do you equate this in terms of value?
When I came back to Kenya,
Yes.
I came back, I met a few doctors that I was working with. When I was training for caregiving, where I went for practicals, spinal injury, I partnered with a few doctors. So I came knowing that I'll come do the caregiving job, you know, and oncology support, you know, palliative cares. But now I got the jobs, but the people to work with was the problem. So that is when the idea of Medlc International came in. Medlc International, where we are training caregivers.
Okay, so you're coming back to invest in Kenya.
Yeah.
Right? Now, umeshaona Canada, when one of your patients dies in 50 million. Like, imagine if you had like 10 people. 10 people too, and a span of 2 years.
Yeah. It was 2 years, to be honest.
2 years.
Yeah.
Ukipiga another 2 years, lose like 10 more people. In a good way, like natural, hiyo ni natural causes, ndio? Hiyo ni natural causes, ndio? Like, you do your work.
Yeah.
Auombei mabaya, time yake imefika. Si ndio?
Yeah.
Alafu ikue, ni aje, Colleen, yeye ushughulikia mtu mpaka mwisho, na asante ndio. So umerudi na asante. Umepigiwa mwili pole, si ndio? Kuna makosa?
Hakuna makosa.
What's the opportunity back home that you would rather uphold your values than take money?
Partnership. Partnership is what I had already planned in my mind. Because those are the same people now getting jobs for the people we are training here. In Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when people, watu wanataka kwenda majuu, like for caregiving jobs, someone hopes that akienda majuu, they are set up for good, they are set up for life, right? What is it that you saw that wewe hauwezi taka kukuwa na hiyo opportunity, ukae huko, because it offers you more money? Because a caregiver, what's the comparison? How much does a caregiver earn in Kenya for the gig?
In Kenya, it depends with where, what facility or who. Because caregiving
on
also,
average.
Yeah, on average, 40,000 all the way to 150,000.
Average between 40 and 150,000. Ukitoka hapa Kenya, land in Canada or in the US professionally, how much does a caregiver earn on average?
From 300,000 to 600,000.
On average?
Yeah, on average.
So 600,000 is a possibility. So caregiver huku, akiingia huko ni mheshimiwa, right?
Yeah.
If you could make 600,000, right, as a caregiver huko, as in, kama ni job, isn't that enough to set you up? As in, get you sorted for life, like uko poa. As in, I'm trying to look at the work environment in terms of opportunity.
Yeah.
Wasi wenye wanatafuta hizi opportunities, should you look for the opportunities, ume kidogo urudi, hoping to get lucky, ama you can go there and establish yourself huko?
You cannot establish yourself huko because caregiving is not an easy job. Caregiving, you do it for a long time, you break your back. Kumbuka unabeba mtu all the time. You break your back.
Unakuwa wenye
It's not an easy task. You have to live with abuse, number one. That person you are taking care of, probably they are dementia, disabled, and then you find a family that is hostile. Unaweza kuwa cheesy. You can actually go mad.
600,000 haikusaidii kubalance?
Hawezi balance.
Haiwezi saidia na depression ati nini?
Haiwezi. Binadamu ni binadamu. You'll definitely, and working hours are crazy. You'll work for a long time. Kwanza hiyo ni kazi ya 24 hours. If you're taking care of someone, ni 24 hours. Uko hapo na yeye. Akiamua hiyo siku atashinda akiimba, hautalala, mutaimba na yeye. Yeah.
For 600,000? I don't know many musicians in Kenya who make that kind of money every month.
But kumbuka hiyo 600,000 kuna tax. That is crazy. If the government, if you are on work permit and the government know there is money coming, believe you me, those first world countries, hawezi kubali hiyo pesa utume nyumbani. They will offer you crazy ideas, and this is where many African go wrong. You go there, they tell you, take a car, take a phone. Good things. The moment they realize your account has started making money, they come up with offers, mortgage. So you end
ukiwa
up...
huko tu.
Yeah, ukiwa huko. Huko hakuna ati deposit atilipa 10%, ati ndio tukupatie mortgage. They just look at your credit score yako.
Yes.
And they give you a credit card with some limits. The way you use it, the way you pay it. Also, it tells them whether they can give you a mortgage, a car loan, like that. So they offer you, especially foreign nationals, they come to you because they really want your money that you are working for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're 24
So kwa hiyo 600, utapata hata una save 50. I'm honest. Ama so. Unless unafanya kazi chini ya maji where the government does not know that you are there. As long as they have your name in the system, tax utalipa.
Kwa sababu ni tax peke yake ndio inakukulia mpaka ufike 50 ama cost of living, then that
cost
doesn't
of
make a
living
difference.
is also high. Cost of living is high, and you must have a car. Moving around, you must have a car.
You must have
You must have a car, and they give you a car that according to their market. Si ati wewe udecide utanunua second hand ile inapiga kelele kwa barabara. No.
Na mwezi shikana kama caregivers mfanye carpooling to save on this cost kama you are financially literate.
You live in one house.
Oh dear Lord.
No, you cannot do that.
So the house you are living in si ndio mahali unafanya job?
Some families, kama utapata familia yenye utalive in, then you are lucky. But most of them want you, munakuwa wawili in shift. You come in the morning, mwingine usiku.
Okay.
So it's either you get a small house, and then the owner of that house, and they are very nosy, they walk around without even you knowing. Mwezi kaa kwa hiyo nyumba watu watatu waine ati mnashare cost. Utaanza kusikia maji, you know, water, you know, kila kitu unahesabiwa yako moja.
The suffering has to be distributed equally.
Yes.
Lazima ufeel ile pain ya there are people you are caregiving for.
Lazima ufeel.
But then, does this mean that a caregiver in Kenya who earns 150,000 is better off than a caregiver in Canada earning 600,000?
Yes.
Then why do we encourage people
There is
to go
no
there?
social life. There is no... I think it's just the positioning. Because caregiving was not... in Kenya, haikuwa... The market was not... People had not known about caregiving.
Okay.
You know, in Kenya. But when people realize about caregiving, there will be so many jobs in Kenya.
There will be so many jobs.
There will be so many jobs. Because look at it this way: when you get old, how guaranteed are you that your children will take care of you?
But sasa unajua, I am business for caregivers born in 2072. Think about tupige hesabu. Na mi pia by God's grace gym yenye tizi tunaendanga na trainer wetu mtu wa Cleveland, shout out to Cleveland Lagi wa K9 Security. Haiwezi kuallow uzeeke haraka. Can you get some 50? But anyway, I get your point. Yeah. Like say in terms of preparation for the future, the opportunity is in people contracting, because like of how the world is becoming, like people will be too busy to traditionally take care of their parents.
Yeah. So there will be elderly homes coming up. There will be disability centers coming up, because right now in Africa they have started recognizing disabilities. Unajua before disabled were just left uko ushago to suffer. But now you can see persons living with disabilities are working in some companies. You see people living, even me in my own company, I have a person with disability that works with me. Yeah. So in future there will be a lot of disability centers, there will be a lot of elderly homes. So that is the work for caregivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, kama now you've come back as a business, which is a very brilliant thing, enye sijui kama unasahau kumention, you've invested in that same sector, right?
Yes.
So what's the future like currently, like mtu anafanya caregiving? Tusha establish that it's too expensive to go abroad, right? The process itself and even the lifestyle, right? Locally bado market haija open bado. Then why train now?
There's a lot of
watu wazeeke kwanza.
No. There's a lot of business opportunities when it comes to caregiving. It's not, you don't need to be employed. You can be self-employed. You can look for your own clientele. You can go to doctors, partner with doctors, because doctors get overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed a lot. Unapata daktari akona cancer patients kama 10. Unaona, pengine akona nurse mmoja. So these people need caring, the daily caring of the bed pads and all that they need to do, the ADS. So wanahitaji caregivers.
Wanahitaji caregivers.
Yes.
We presently have in Kenya an oversupply of doctors. I personally weep, nasikianga uchungu sana for 2 doctors I met in 2018, but hawajai kuwa employed mpaka leo. Like graduates, like ile doctors. They wauring kwa akili yangu, right? Nurses, kuna wase wamegraduate na nursing diplomas na bado hawajapata job, right? To explain here, like we have an oversupply of doctors, we have an oversupply of nurses. Where are caregivers coming in? Yet, okay, where are caregivers coming in? Before we ask about doctors who go abroad.
Caregivers are coming in on the jobs za huku chini. Cleaning the patient, toileting, making the bed of the patient. Hiyo ndo kazi za caregiver. Kulift the patient from bed to wheelchair, kumpeleka akaote jua. Hiyo ndo kazi ya caregiving. And you know, many people right now, they don't want to stay long in the hospital because of the hospital bills. So they prefer going at home. Naona, kama ni hizo kazi za just like bed bath, kumuosha, kumpatia dawa, alale, amke, akule, hiyo ni kazi ya caregiving. So they are not staying long in the hospital. Akisha pona daktari aseme ako sawa, they go home with a caregiver.
So if I'm getting you correctly, are caregivers a solution to hefty hospital bills?
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Like mtu anaweza sema aachiliwe hosi aende ashughulikiwe na watu wake. Alafu you negotiate with this person. But hii contract ya huyu mtu si sasa yeye ndio atakuwa mtu wa kwanza kuomba usipone juu ukipona kazi imeisha. It's a business of bad luck, ama?
It's not a business of bad luck.
Ndako sana na caregiver. Kisia get well soon.
Let's say, sasa kama mortuary attendant, which we are also training in our institution, mortuary attendant, utasema anaomba watu wakufe. Kila sekta lazima ikuwe na mtu anashikilia.
Mna train mpaka mortuary attendant?
Yeah.
Mnatoa wapi watu wa kupractice?
Wako.
Sisemi watu wa kufanya hiyo job, watu wa kupractice on.
As in kupractice? Wako.
Mko na practicals? Mko na practical?
Yeah, si practicals zinafanywa kwa moja. Practicals wanaenda kwa moja.
Kwa watu nini? Wamja invest kwa watu wenu.
You know, mortuary attendant, there's some theory part of it before you get to practicals.
Okay.
And practicals, you need to go to the real mortuary. For you to grasp, uelewe kila kitu. You have to go to the mortuary facility.
Human beings. Yani, na hiyo bado kuna watu wanakuja tu?
Yes. Wengi sana.
Na I would like to get to the mind ya hata nyinyi mkiinvest kwa biashara kama hiyo, how do you face God? Mwambie we pray for long life and you invested in short life. As in, uoni kama ni paradox? healthcare in itself is a paradox. Yani mnajua kutaharibika, and that's where the business is. Think about it. Like ni kama politely kuambia watu, okay, I accept that's what the world is.
Yeah.
Like, wadau, by the way, hapa kuna opportunity. A percentage of you, by the way, in the next a few years, acha nisiseme, you will be in wheelchairs, but sindio, si hapo ndio biashara iko. You will be in wheelchairs. Si ati ugonjwa ni uzee, sindio? But we're investing in people to take care of you. Ama ni aje manze, wadau wako, some of them are going to be manze watakuwa, they will be cabbages. Twende usome hiyo kitu iko na opportunity. Is it that hapo ndio kuna opportunity, ama accept that's what the world has become?
No, to accept that is how the world is. Yes. And that is where we are going. To accept that one day we are all going to get old. One day we might get sick. Kuna wale watakuwa wagonjwa, kuna wale watapata accident. They get accident, spinal cord wavunjike, they go to the wheelchair, yes. Because going to the wheelchair doesn't have to be necessarily umezaliwa nayo. Inaweza kuwa ni accident, umeanguka kwa building, spinal cord imebreak, you see.
Yes. Na hizo ni unavoidable circumstances. Yes. Kuna pia za zile za mtu ako na option ya madau, it's either uende gym ama hata hakuna haja kwenda gym leo juu kuna Medlc. They've got me covered in the next 15 years. Yeah, they will help you move. They will help you everything, like all round, right? And now I think I'm now invested in where does your story start. Before tumeingia sana kwa caregiving and the opportunities. Before tutoke, do we conclusively say hiyo majuu yenye watu wanataka kwenda, it's not as rosy as?
It's not rosy. They have to know that they need to go and work and come back home and invest here. They need to go and work and come and invest here.
You still encourage them to go.
Yeah.
But come back.
Yeah. And come back.
Hata ukienda huko na ukwe mstingi na 600,000 yako huko, hauwezi kuati utaomoka in.
Itakuwa ngumu because unataka kumatch lifestyle ya watu.
Uende huko na inaitwa ukwe mstingi nayo. Ujifinye kabisa.
Utajifinya aje? Na kuna offers zinakuja. Unajua binadamu ni binadamu. Unaona mwenzako ndio yeye anaendesha hapo Ferrari, unaona mwingine amechukua Porsche hapo. Unaendeshana.
But hiyo si ni madharau. Unaendesha Ferrari na pesa ya watu wa wheelchair. Okay, sawa. So who are they that survive? Kwa wale watu wanaenda majuu, because kuna watu utaambia about kwenda majuu against, they want to go experience it themselves. Who are they that survive? Some of your students pia watataka kwenda majuu, right? Who are they that survive?
Those that survive are those that know what took them there. Those are the ones survive. I'm not going to say that they are all going to survive. As much as we speak to them or encourage them, not all of them are going to survive. Kuna peer pressure. Kuna vitu mingi that comes along with majuu. Majuu, life ni tamu. Life is amazing. Technology, and everyone wants to match those people ndo. Unajua there's a lot of racism uko majuu. Na wewe ndio uonekane ni kama kidogo uko juu, lazima umatch energy ya hawa watu. Na
ndio nilikuwa nataka kukuuliza, like tusikue by the book sana. The question inaweza kuwa rahisi ni, hakuna mtu unaweza advise like to accept. Let me be the devil's advocate for a minute. Like yes, unaweza enda upige caregiving 1 year, utoke na kamzungu kako, usettle Canada. Hakuna. Of course umesema story ya racism, but hakuna anomaly.
No, kuna wale wanasaidika. Kuna wengi wanasaidika pia.
Hiyo ndio kusaidika.
Kuna wengi wanasaidika, kuna wale they get married, kuna wale they get inheritance. There are so many caregivers who get inheritance. Kuna wale wanajifinya like they know what took them there. So wanajifinya for like 2 or 3 years, they come back home and invest. Wengine wanaingia farming. And also there is another trend, if you are, like now, Canada is flexible. You can go back and work. You can go back and work. So you can come, invest, and go back for another 1 year, make your money, and come back.
Okay. Haya. let's go back to where this all starts. Ulinifurahisha sana na storia, you have never tamaked.
Sijai tamak.
Hujawahi tafuta job?
Sijawahi tafuta job.
Tell us where this story starts. Like, ulitoka high school kama kila mtu?
Nilitoka
Ni connection? Ulipona na connection?
Si connection. Si connection to be honest. Ni kujituma.
Kujituma ni universal. Kujituma na ni God tu na ni kujaribu tu. Ni a certain class of Kenyans yenye people have had enough. Uzuri ni ulinipatia hints. But sasa sitaki kuisikia peke yangu. Story yako uliponea wapi? Are there moves that if you didn't make atungekuwa nawe hapa sahi?
Yeah.
Kama immediately, like tupeleke for a lady probably watching now ametoka high school. How can you reduce their journey to get to where you are?
For just ladies or everyone? Ladies.
I think for ladies, to be fair, because kwa show conversations, understanding how money works, we need a balance. You are allowed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think at the moment, before people rush into doing courses or getting into courses or just going into university or college, they need to research. They need to do a lot of research. Yeah, they need to do a lot of research to know or understand what is it that will be marketable in that 4 years they will be in campus. After that 4 years, ni nini itakuwa marketable by then?
How do you predict that? Sinaona nikuita prophetess for good reason.
Yeah.
How do you predict the next 4 years in a market?
You see, like now, there are so many people doing nursing. Everyone leaving high school. Hata huwezi pata vacancy ya kuingia nursing in any nursing school right now.
You are very right.
Everyone is doing
nursing. Hata hapa mahali tumekaa wako. I swear. Walai.
So everyone is a nurse. Everybody. Watu wamefanya nursing. Hiyo market is saturated already. And market ya nursing majuu imeharibika. Imeharibika majuu. So you end up nurses sasa wanafanya kazi za caregiving uko majuu. So unapata wengi wako zile za mimi niende nifanye caregiving, you know.
Yeah.
So wataki kwenda hiyo kufanya caregiving, but in the real sense hata wakienda huko hiyo ndio kazi tu watafanya.
Hakuna job ya nursing.
Hakuna kazi zingine za nursing. Hapo tutakuwa tunaenjoyana.
Hata hii watu wanasoma ati watu wengine wana upgrade ati wacha nipandishe hapa juu kidogo ICU, hakuna.
Lazima urudi shule. Hizo country lazima urudi shule. Ndio wakuamini. Lazima utarudi shule.
Haya. Sawa. Ume-explain poa. Tunataka kuingia hapa kwa predicting time. Like deciding chenye unataka kufanya. So hii kitu ya ati I'm trained as sijui mimi course yangu ni hii ati in the next my whole lifetime this is what I'm trained for, ni uongo.
Hiyo ni uongo. I think the African market or African right now, they need to know when to do what, because what I have realized is even especially in Kenya, watu wanakimbilia kitu moja, they flock. Like me, I was wondering, everyone is going to Canada, and I'm wondering, why is everyone going to Canada? Why not Europe? Yeah, where there is also equally the same money people are paid in Canada. Kama ni kazi wanaenda kutafuta. Why not Europe? Why not Europe? They are good countries that people can go and work and get good money. A lot of money in the real sense. Okay. But sasa kuna ile wave watu wana moving now that is very dangerous, especially here in Kenya that I've witnessed. Mukisikia pesa iko mahali fulani, you don't want to care. Musafara ndio hiyo, kila mtu. Sasa mkisikia watu walienda Canada, kila mtu wants to go to Canada. You don't know what you are going to do. You've not done research. You don't know what you are going to do.
How is this different? Hii ku-advocate for ama ku-advise watu msifuate msafara. Hii ya kusema angalia what will be marketable in the next 4 years. Sio ni kuangalia msafara itakuwa inaenda wapi 4 years.
Hapana, ni kuangalia if I do this right now, what will be the market in the near future? Ama uangalie because things are moving very fast right now. So kama technology ina move haraka, we na wewe una move na hiyo technology.
Ama una move mbele yake.
Ama una move mbele yake. So kama mimi saa hii, mimi naona watu wanaenda wanatafuta yellow pages. Huko mimi nilitoka kitambo. Mimi am using apps. Nikitaka kujua journalist wote wako Kenya, Kenya or any country, whether Netherlands, whether is recruiting agencies, whether is churches in America, I'll get the database from an app.
Are you saying in terms of career we should rethink our curriculum?
Yeah.
Hii kitu ya unaenda sijui shule 6 years to do a course yenye mko hapo watu 1 million and you're not sure of what the market is.
Yeah.
Again, misleading. So are you saying we are at an age where you cannot be loyal to a career?
For example, let me just say, kama mimi sasa mimi ni business developer, my career. Sasa business developer, sasa mimi inanisaidia kwa biashara because I'm running a business. But I'm in the healthcare industry right now. Hiyo 4 years yangu ya campus, sasa I cannot say that at the 4 years I studied and became a business developer, ndio hiyo sasa nitafanya forever. No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay. So high school unaenda campus ukasoma business development. You can't dispute imekusaidia kidogo hapa na pale.
Imenisaidia.
Right? Sindio? But how kutafuta business development?
No.
So after campus you're not tamaking. What's your secret? What secret did you use ya kuget job immediately umetoka?
Hata nilikuwa job nikiwa campus. Nikisoma nilikuwa kazi.
Kazi gani? Kazi gani?
I was doing the marketing when I was studying.
Caregiving, hey, kiburi ya campus na caregiving haiwezi, si ndio?
Yeah, haiwezi.
Caregiving inataka humility.
Caregiving hata sikuwa huko. Even my mom was pushing me into doing nursing because my mom is a medic. I'm coming from a background of medics. My mom, my sister, a family of medics. So I was pushed into that direction na sikutaka kusikia. I wanted to be different. Sasa ona where I've ended up.
Na marketing inakuanga stress sana, especially Kenyans to commit to buy something, it's a whole hustle, right? At this time, ulianza na marketing ya products ndio, you grew into that business mkaenda South Africa. After South Africa ndio unakuja unaingia NGO.
NGO was before computer business.
NGO was right before computer business.
Yeah, was before
So how long are you in the marketing industry?
For a very long time, because even as a when I was employed as an NGO, I was employed as an administrator, senior administrator. So marketing, I was still doing, because with the NGOs we used to do a lot of travels. So I used to do also visa business on the side.
Enyewe market changes. Kuna time kuku admin ilikuwa job.
Hey, wacha tu. Ukiona baji yangu niko nayo paka saa hivi.
Mama ni admin wani. Unajua siku hizi ukisikia admin ni
senior admin. Ilikuwa kazi za kitambo, ilikuwa admin, ilikuwa kazi ya muhimu sana. That is when people did secretariat. Kulikuwa na kazi mingi.
But uongo sahi.
Kuna hiyo admin na hii AI na ChatGPT na kuandikia barua nini kila kitu.
Okay. So having been a player kwa business, employer, na employee, what is your lesson? As in, what is your biggest lesson or take home, or some of the lessons you may learn kuandikwa job versus kujifanyia busy? Because we encourage people, self-employment, self-employ. What have you learned about your employing yourself and employing others, ama being in business versus being employed?
Ukitaka, if you're moving from an employment field to business, you have to do a lot of research, because when it comes to business, unajua employment uko na ile ka safety net, like every month you're getting 40 Gs. Unajua at the end of the month, come rain, come sunshine, utapata 40K. But in the business, ni risk, unipata potea. You might get or not. So if you want to move from employment to business, lazima ume structure brain yako so you know or understand that you might get or not. And people who leave employment to go to business, inakuanga hustle sana. For the first 1 year before mtu ashike ground, unajua kuna wale na kuna wengine wanarudingi kwa employment.
Si wewe hapa.
Unajua ukiflop you go back.
Ground ilikuwa moto.
Yeah.
Ukarudi.
Ground ilikuwa moto, ya computers ilikuwa moto. Na ilikuwa moto.
How to make...
At some point, okay. I made money. Siwezi kataa, I made money.
You made money, but ilikuwa hot, ukakimbia ukarudi kuandikwa job.
I made money, but now unajua sasa big fish wakikuja. Unajua biashara kuna time biashara inaweza kugonga. And let me tell you, in computer business pia, police wanakusumbua. They come all the time.
Polisi na computer, nisongea vibaya.
Kuna police wanakujanga wanasema sisi ni watu wa Microsoft. You know? Sisi ni watu wa Microsoft. Sisi ni watu sijui wa counterfeit. Sisi ni watu sijui. So hata ukiuza hiyo day, ile pesa you take home na ile umetumia sasa kusort vitu zako, unapiga hesabu unaona hapana.
Na unajua ni polisi wakisema wao ni watu wa Microsoft.
Yeah. They come with badges. They go around. Hata saa hii I'm sure the IT or the shop businesses wanasumbuka sana.
You do realize, unajua kuna siku nimecheka tao sana, kuna boys wangu wiki mse wa bike tumemtuma mahali ameshikwa on a Sunday. Ameshikwa na wasi wa Kanjo, tukaenda hapo tukozo unashikia mse nini? Na ni Sunday. Akatuambia muulize hana kiwari ya town. He told me that to my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me it was funny. But then I'm like, that's another area of business. So ukisema hivyo, actually it's a cost.
Yeah.
It's a hindrance kwa biz.
Yeah.
Niko like, are we the enablers? Like why would you give a police officer do ati ni mtu wa Microsoft?
No, si kupeana doa inside.
Like your harassment ya kitu kama hiyo on false claims.
It's not, unajua, for you to run a business in town, it's not that easy. The businesses that run in town, they get a lot of harassment, to be honest. Let me talk for business people. There's a lot of harassment through Kanjo. Unajua, kuna ile licenses you are supposed to get. You get that license, but wanakuja na kitu ingine unashindwa, hii nayo iliongezwa siku gani?
Away from zenye uliambiwa unafaa kulipa.
Away from, wewe ushatoa license. But kesho yake, after 2-3 weeks, I think they know when the business picking or not. Wanaanza kutembea, ujalipia sijui ventilation, sijui ujalipia. There's a lot of harassment for business people in town. A lot of it. People differently come. Now the moment you bribe one, that is where you go wrong.
The moment you bribe one.
If you dare bribe one, they will be coming from January to December, different people.
Okay.
So the best thing is to wacha wakushike, waende ulipe whatever you are supposed to pay and go back.
Okay. Na kucredit kama mtu wa kutime business ikienda kuanguka, like wholesomely unaruka kwa ingine.
Yes.
Would you please take us through ya zile vitu umeweka mkono, unaweza tuambia zenye umeban, zenye uliscore? Because naanza get a feel like to some extent business is like betting. Right? Away from employment. Wachana na marketing, wachana na nini. Yenye pesa yako umechukua ukaweka. Right? In fact, kuna kitu nilikucredit nayo. Ulisema huwezi weka pesa yako mahali unajua haitarudi.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like the way I told you, before I open a business, I do my research. I do a 90-day rule, na tamak, napiga research yangu, nafanya marketing. Before I even opened Medlc International, I did marketing. Kwanza, kuona kama it's going to work. I was not scared about the other people in the market. But I did my marketing my own way. Nikaona, this is it. For like 3 months before we started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na hii 90 days ni guaranteed itakupea all the information you need.
Unajua binadamu ukijipatia target, believe me, if you believe in yourself, it will work.
If ukijipea target.
Ukijipea target, it will work.
So in your history, in the business environment, ni biashara gani na gani unakumbuka umefanya na ya computer tunajua very well explained. Ya maths uliuma ukatoka. In fact labda ninyi mlidelay covid ishe, but then biashara gani nyingine nataka kuangalia the science of how to identify an opportunity beyond your prediction ya computer listening to government policy. Like what other businesses uli time, like the strategy you used. Of course I usha move. Wewe hata uwezi kaa kwa biashara moja for 3 years ushasema. What other businesses did you start? Now what was the strategy to identify the opportunity?
Apart from computer, kuna zingine nilifanya before computer kama mtumba. I sold some mtumba? Yes, me have done. I've hustled in this town, to be honest. Nilifanya paka mtumba.
Na mtumba uliingilia wapi?
Nilikuwa nauza
biashara ya bail? Oh, uliingia na jackets specifically?
Yeah, nilikuwa nafanya jackets peke yake.
Na jackets ulifanyia research gani? El Nino? El
Nino ndio ilikuwa. Okay, I move with whatever works at that time. For example, kama saa hii, I'm not saying I'm in the healthcare sector because there is a wave or something that is moving, no. I would say for someone to be able to identify the next move is whatever that unaona, something that the Africa or in Kenya that we require, whatever that people need is what that you need to move to. The needs of the people.
Yes, yes.
Naona?
Yes.
So ukiangalia upate kuna ka loophole mahali, that is where you should go.
Biashara ni
you shouldn't move with people. You need to think independently. Like angalia, there are so many opportunities.
Yes.
Yenye watu bado hawajajua. Naona? So many opportunities.
Na as a person who umeuma kwa jacket, si ndio? Ukuje uume kwa COVID. Like hapo kwa baridi pia umeinvest kidogo, umekula za pneumonia. Nini? When you move from one business to the other, unasema the lifespan ni very short kwa sababu of course people will flood your msafara, right? Are there things you get to keep from one business to the next? Like let's say for example, nimefanya jackets, ndio? Hapa nimemake say 2 million, right? Si ndio? Hii 2 million ndio capital ya the next business, ama hii 2 million ni yangu, jacket tunaanza from scratch.
Ni the next. Hiyo ni the next business. Because by the time you start one business, there is plan B ya hiyo biashara. By the time I used to sell jackets, I think we were very few people who were doing jackets by then. Tulikuwa wachache sana before everyone came to Beli. Mimi sipendangi biashara yenye watu wanakuja kuflock. Hakunanga pesa. Pesa inakuja polepole sana. So you move where the business is not saturated. But mahali biashara ni saturated, unapata duka ni mingi. So customers wanapungua. Unajua?
Ukisema ati biashara lazima ikuwe na plan B. Right? Biashara lazima ikuwe na plan B. Kuna other experts wanasema if you focus on your business and give it your all, ndio itafunguka, sasa una deal nayo poa, right? Hii plan B, isn't that cheating on your business?
Let me tell you something. Hata ukiangalia vizuri sana other businesses that comes in, for example, TikTok came. I'm sure Facebook had a plan B because they've started the Reels, which is the same as TikTok. So lazima pia wewe ukue ahead, ujue hii ndio the next thing we are in. Unaona?
Okay. So ukianzisha biashara, haikuangi ni hiyo peke yake ndio umeanza.
Mwingine atakuja na another idea that you have to ya kukuvuruga, lazima ukue na plan B.
So
utataka aje hiyo.
Everywhere you go, watakufanyia Mr. Khan.
Yes. Utafanyiwa Mr. Khan.
And does it have what starts coming to my mind nikianza hii hizi ama tukipiga hizi stories za how money works and stuff, ni does it have an end? Like do you have an end in mind? Sawa, kama ukienda Canada unasema in 2 years I'm coming back home. Do you have a place where you stop the cycle? In terms of sawa, but making money will never be enough. But is there a point we are chasing?
Yeah. For example, make dough. You know, like for you to start a business, lazima ujipatie lifespan yako, si lifespan ya wengine ile umesikia. For you to open a business, don't copy paste someone ati juu Colleen amefungua this biashara, let me fungua it. Because you don't know the vision and the mission of this person. Hujui lifespan yake ya hiyo biashara ameipatia aje. So if you go copy pasting, unaangalia una flop. Unaona? So in business it needs you to be of sound mind. Like unaingia kwa hii biashara wewe independently, si ati because someone ameingia kwa hii biashara.
Okay.
Because when it comes to that way, if you do that way, then you will know when that business is about to end. Alafu another thing, ukifungua biashara, and that business for 6 months does not give you any returns, funga hiyo biashara.
6 months kama hujauma kitu?
Achana nayo. 6 months na hujapata hata profit, unaendelea kulipa rent, that one will not pick.
But we have people wenye wanasema like break even point for a business inaweza take hata 3 years na wewe sasa ndio utavuna proper.
By the time hiyo 3 years inafika na technology ya sai. Because hao watu wenye wanasema ni 3 years ni mambo za kitambo. Yeah, mambo za kitambo. Because right now technology is moving very fast and everyone is moving with the technology. Ukisema tu ugoje biashara saa hii 3 months unaendelea tu kuweka pesa tu utavuna. By the time unafika hiyo 3 months, another better business with better idea hiyo yako will come.
Kuna kitu umesema na naisikia tu kwa mbali na najua kila mtu anaisikia huku. Pesa lazima irudi haraka. Pesa, please, what is realistic return? Wachana na sawa basi, in your book, what does profit mean? Okay, nimeweka 100,000 hapa, si ndio? Ndio wewe ukubali kuweka 100,000 yako kwa biashara. Ni target gani unaipeanga unasema, this is worth my money? How do you do that mathematics? Ndio nataka kuunderstand kitu ya mazee kama pesa irudi haraka mimi si kidogo hapo.
Unajua ukifungua biashara, like I said before, any business ni risk. Haujuangi kama utapata clientele, inakuanga kujaribu. Biashara yoyote yenye utaanzisha, any business haujui kama clients watakuja. And you can imagine mtu unalipa rent tu ukigojanga clientele wakuje for 3 years.
Uongo.
You go broke. Now you will close that business with nothing, frustration, depression na pressure. Yote. So 6 months ukiona this thing haikuletei kabisa, start thinking of plan B.
Na umesema hapo kwa caregiving kuna opportunity, na kama nina copy vile una identify opportunity, caregiving umeishikanisha na biashara ya GMO, si ndio?
Gani hiyo?
Caregiving. Umeinvest kwa sababu ya GMO. Government imeapprove GMO, ukasema hawa wanaenda kwa wheelchair. Anajaribu kuangalia, unajua nataka kuwa master pia wa how to identify opportunity. Like hizi manugu zinakula takataka, acha sasa hapa ndio biashara iko. Nimeipata ama
hapana?
Nimecopy wrong.
Umecopy wrong, but to be honest, unajua African body haijakuwa designed for GMO. Let me give my opinion.
Yes.
I will fall very fast.
There is business. Kuna mahali tulibia predicting the next 4 years. Umefanya poa sana umetuexplainia, and I think pia our audience will be very interested in kupeana timelines, deadline yenye unaweza pea biashara yako, kama ikupatii pesa kubali imeenda, right? But hapa kwa predicting the future, something very important, nafikiria tuliacha hanging kidogo. Kwa mtu mwenye anatoka shule sahi, ama mtu mwenye, as in, if you are to advise someone, in fact, hata ku advise is a very strong word. If you are to share your opinion on what you think the market is right now, mtu wako high school, ama mtu sahi amestruggle na job sana, what do you say to someone mwenye ametafuta job for 5 years?
They should look for next. Unaelewa? Mtu amefanya, for example, maybe amefanya accountancy na hapati kazi. Actuarial science. Hizo kazi you've tarmacked for 4 years, 5 years. You should think next. It clearly shows hiyo market iko flood, kazi hakuna. Kama hakuna, ushasoma, yes, ushachoma pesa, but what's next? Because you'll even keep on wasting more money, because I'm sure kuna wengi wanalipana, lete pesa tutakupea nafasi, and they are not getting the jobs. They should think of the next. What is it that they can do that will give them a job?
Na Madam Prophetess, tuambie, what is the grace period ya a graduate kujua umechoma miaka 6?
1 year.
Ukitafuta job 1 year,
you are done.
Usitafute tena.
Fanya kitu ingine. Unajua watu wengi wanafanyanga courses because they have been pushed to do them. Passion ndo inafanyanga mtu ana make do. If you go for whatever your passion is, si ile kitu umeambiwa fanya hii. Let no one tell you or force you into doing something that you don't want.
Niko na msee anaitwa Ryan Holiday, ako na argument ya don't be passionate, be purposeful.
It's the same thing. Wacha niseme ni the same thing.
Yes.
To be kuwa purposeful ni
kujua
nini wewe unaweza fanya kusaidia hata economy ya Kenya. What is it that you can bring into the
grow?
Kila mtu anakuanga na speciality yake.
Okay.
Kila mtu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. Na una qualify kuitwa investor. Watu wanasema at your level the Kenyan business environment is very harsh. The cost of doing business is very heavy, right? What's the truth to that?
It is truth. There is truth to it, but also you should also check on what kind of business are you doing. No. You can rush into a business that require like it's capital intense.
Yes.
Na hauna hiyo capital. Uende ufungue kaduka kako. Let me give an example with computer because I've been into that field.
Yes.
Tulikuwa computers mingi tunapangana, wewe uko na kuna mwingine anakuja hapo ako na kompyuta zake 3, ameanza biashara ni hustler. TFT 2, nini speaker, believe you me, hakuna mtu ataingia hiyo duka. Ile utaona pale kando imepangwa machine paka nje. Watu wanapanga line paka uko kwa stairs.
Are you saying that starting small ni uongo?
Starting small kidogo kwa biashara itakugonga.
Na pia kuingia heavily pia ni biting more than you can chew.
Yes.
What's the balance?
Lazima ufanye sasa that thing I'm telling you about, research. You have to do a lot of research.
Kuna kuinvest blindly.
Ingia kwa market. For example, umeingia kwa market unataka kuanza carpentry business. Anza hiyo carpentry business na macho na mdomo. Unaambia watu siku hizi mimi ni carpenter. Mmoja akikupea biashara unajua this one can work. Mwingine wakikupea biashara this one can work. Then go ahead and invest. But umepiga debe for 3 months hakuna mtu anakupatia order. Why would you do that business?
Sawa. Before we let you go, wewe umekuwa caregiver, umeenda majuu karudi. Na from the look of things, wewe unafaa kuwa benchmark ya mani Colleen ameenda usiingie. What's your advice to the people you encourage that caregiving still has an opportunity?
No, caregiving has a lot of opportunities. It's someone's choice. You can decide to stay there or come back and invest home. For me, I decided to come back and invest home. For others, they succeed over there. Yeah. Others, they flop. Wale wenye waelewi kile kitu iliwapeleka. They get peer pressure, they get into other things that they forget where they come from.
Hakuna chati unfair market advantage, ni kutoelewa tu chenye ilikupeleka.
Ni kitu kutoelewa kenye ulipeleka. Na unajua kuwa caregiver lazima ukue mtu uko na compassion, you are caring, you are you have courage. Lazima ukue very courageous because those people saa ingine their racism iko very high. Na kuna watu wa hizi stomach hiyo.
Umesema of course lazima you are hard worker, but tena uliniambia caregiving opens an opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
But are you saying there is no room for lazy people?
No, there's no room for lazy people. For you to be a caregiver, you have to be extremely hardworking. Hakuna lazy time. A caregiver ni uko mgutu. You're moving from one point to another. You cannot afford to sit and look at your phone or chat. Hakuna hiyo time, you'll chat after work.
Na ule msee anajiambia by the way nikienda huko nijifungie 2 years do yangu yote iko inakuja Kenya. Kwanza 600,000 per month. Hiyo ni 7.2 million. Nikaweza tu kupata place ya nini nikipiga 2 years that's 14 million nikiishi kama monk.
Kwanza nataka tu kwa advice wale wanafanya caregiving kwenda majuu ama wale watu wanaenda majuu. Wajue majuu is not bed of roses. Kama utajituma utarudi hapa kama una anything. Kama hauna anything ama ukose kurudi juu ya aibu. Unajua kuna ile unakuwa you have so many debt because watu wanakupatianga deni vizuri.
Hautoki na kitu.
Lazima ukuwe mjanja. Na wale wanafanya tu ati course caregiving ati ndo waende tu wafanye caregiving juu wamesikia wako na do. Those ones if they are not compassionate or caring hata wamalizangi 6 months wanarudishango.
Kitu imenirusha ina spin ya kuthink beyond that. I think umeexplainio poa sana ni hii kitu ya ati mazee tunachagua course, mimi nataka kwenda kampo, nataka kwenda kuwa sijui scientist wa nini sijui biochemical engineer. Ni uongo.
I think we need to have another way of trying to talk to our students even when they are in high school on career path.
Okay.
Because mtu tu kutoka form 1 aliingia anataka tu kufanya nursing. Atafika form 4 aingie nursing 4 years. Apate market imeflood.
Don't go with a fixed mind in
don't
terms.
Go with
Prepare
to change.
What do you want to become when you grow up? Wongo.
Be prepared for change. Change. Ukiambiwa if you are told this is the way ama this is what I think there's a lot of research that even the high schools needs to do. You know. By the time mtoto anafika form 4 ama anafika form 4 kumaliza, then the school should have a lot of career path guidance, counseling on anything to be able to advise these children.
Okay.
Because atatoka ingie, yes atapita vizuri, aingie nursing, but atakuwa very disappointed for working so hard to get the grades that they need to do nursing and then hakuna job.
Sawa. It will be very unfair to borrow time yako hii yote, utupigie story, tuibe knowledge yako ya business hiyo time yote, alafu tukose kukuambia you tell us something about your business. Please tell our audience something about Medlc.
Medlc International is a college registered by TVET. We train caregiving and other short courses in healthcare industry, but especially courses that we know are marketable. So that's where the uniqueness of Medlc comes in. We are not going to encourage you to doing a course that we know how to get a job. And that is why we are, if you check our website, we are a training and staffing company. So we actually get to train you and also take it upon ourselves to give you job opportunities that we get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So technically you're saying that's a very strong thing. You're giving guarantees.
I'm not giving guarantees because it depends or it depends with job opportunities. Because unaweza kuja kama saa hii we have job opportunities. For example, unaweza sema we have job opportunities for South Korea or Sweden, you see, or Germany that you need to do language. But wewe ukuje next year atunataka kufanya Korean language uende South Korea. Sa hiyo job opportunity hakuna, zimeisha, you know? Yeah.
I was 2 years old when I learned all the levels of caregiving. Nilikuwa najua tu hiyo ya mtu ajiwezi. Sikuwa najua mmefika mpaka kwa watu wamekufa. I did not know.
Caregiving is it's wide. For caregiving, there are caregiving who are special. They are specialists for kids peke yake, pediatric. Hawa kazi yao ni kuchunga watoto. Kids with special needs.
Yes.
You cannot do 3 or 4 caregiving jobs like utoke hapo kwa watoto ati uende elderly. Elderly is another job on its own. Elderly care ni kazi ingine peke yake. Alafu unapata kuna pia ingine ya mental health rehabilitation. Kuna ingine pia ya drugs.
Okay.
Unaona? So caregiving is wide.
Okay.
Very wide.
Asante. Asante sana for your time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you.
Alafu asante sana to my friend Fidel Castro for setting this up. Ilikuwa very interesting for the introduction to come share the good vibes. Asante for inviting me to your place. And I hope more people, wale wase wako interested, feel free to check out Colleen Cheptoo na business yake ya Medlc, na pia unaweza mfuata kwa social media ujue ni biashara gani anafanya next, ndio ukiona anahepa huko kwa caregiving ujue tunaenda wapi na msafara. Anyway, asante sana wazee, asante sana. Thank you for sticking with us up to this point. I hope you enjoyed our content. I trust that this was time well wasted. I also hope that you loved our location. Our episode has been produced at Wojo. Wojo is a premium co-working space located in Upper Hill, Nairobi, Crown Plaza. Sasa sahi inaitwa Makiwa Hotel, 10th floor. If you are ever in need of an office space with flexible contracts, a beautiful working environment, a place that can bring out the best in you as far as creativity is concerned, as far as productivity is concerned, pure good vibes, you need to get in touch with Wojo. We are leaving a link for you in the description below on how to get in touch. I've been your host, Dr. Kingori. See you on the next one.